Hey Thunder fans, welcome to another edition of Thunder Insider. I'm your host Gemma Fagan and I'm joined by my regular co-host here, John Scadetta. And our very special guest tonight is the newly crowned MVP of the All-Star Game, Michael Dorr. Thanks for joining us tonight, Michael. Appreciate it. So, we've got quite a bit to review this week because we've had a few games since the last Insider. So we'll kick it off with the top of the table clash against the Melbourne Ice a couple of weeks ago now, it would have been. Both were nail-biter games, as you kind of would expect from the top table clash. They both ended in a 5-4 shootout victory for the Thunder. So Jordan, let's your take on the weekend's actions.
Yeah, two really fantastic games to watch. As a spectator for both of those games, I felt like we had the best seat in the house. It was well and truly worthy of the top of the table clash, both of those games. Thunder had the lead late in both games and unfortunately surrendered late goals in both games to force the shootout, but we're happy. Talking to Dave Kenway, we're happy enough to come up with the 2 points on each night. Would have preferred 3, but 2 is very good against a dynamic team like the Melbourne Ice. And yeah, fast, physical hockey. It's exactly what you want from the 2 top teams in the league. It was outstanding to watch.
Perfect. And then the boys headed out on the road for Sydney and Newcastle. So first on the agenda, you took on the Ice Dogs. So the Ice Dogs rink in Liverpool, I believe, is quite small. The Ice Dogs are quite a physical team. So what kind of obstacles did that kind of boys have to face with playing them?
Well, we woke up rather early. We flew over there that day, so we got to the rink and tried to get the bus legs out. But I think we weathered the storm pretty good. They are, like you said, a pretty big team, and the rink being small, everything can happen quickly, quicker than even out here. We didn't really play our best. I think they had a 2-1 lead going into the third period, and we found a way. We got 2 goals in the third, and we held off. I think for the last minute or so, they were gunning at us. Had a few chances, but Thomas held strong back in the nets there, and we came out with a W.
So that was the last of a 9-game winning streak. That was the night. We'll talk about the Newcastle game in a second. How important was it for you and how important will be as the season goes along that you seem to have found different ways to win every game? You seem to be winning in different situations. As you said, trailing going into the third period, in hard physical games. How important is that to learn to win in different ways with this group?
I think that's huge, and it's nice that it's not always the top line that's producing. I think the guys that actually got us going in the ice game was our second and third line guys. So they were the ones that put up the goals, and having that adds to the whole depth of our team. So I think that builds a dynamic for us that you don't have to rely on one team or one line to do all the work. And in the long run, I think that's going to benefit us going down into the stretch and having a successful end at the end of the year.
So then the boys faced the elements. There was a bit of a storm there in Sydney. You went down to Newcastle. And our catchphrase is storm is brewing, and unfortunately the storm kind of died off by the time you actually made it to the Newcastle rink. So that was unfortunately a 3-2 loss. So how did that kind of feel for the boys, really?
We didn't play well at all. I'll give credit to Newcastle. They did come out and played well. That was our first game on a big ice sheet. I think that's an actual real size Olympic ice sheet, and they exposed us. So I think that's something that we can address as a team when we do play on bigger ice sheets, how to play better and work better as a team and use that to our advantage. Because we do have a fast team, but I think Newcastle practices there every day, which that was our first time as a team. So that gave them the advantage, and they played well in front of their home crowd. I think they had a 3-game losing streak, and then going into All-Star break, they didn't want to have a 4-game skid. So they came out gunning, and they ended up on top.
Perfect. So now this week we head home with Thunder at home at the Perth Ice Arena. Tickets are still available at perththunder.com.au. Please note the Saturday game puck drop is actually an hour earlier than normal, so it's at 3:30 p.m. and Sunday's game will still be at the normal 4:30 time. So this weekend we're taking on the bottom placed Adelaide Adrenaline. We've played them already at home. We took away both victories. So how do you think the boys are shaping up, John?
Yeah, 2 1-goal games in the weekend over in Adelaide. So they've been, I think their bottom placing sort of belies how well they're playing. They've been unlucky in a few games. They had a little bit of a skid a couple of weeks ago where they didn't play particularly well against particularly the Mustangs and those kind of teams. So yeah, it's difficult. They'll be a difficult team to come up against. You can't underestimate Adelaide when they come over here. They've got one of the most dynamic local players in Wahib Darj. He's one of the most dynamic players going around, and Peter King's been solid in net for them this year. Of course, he's sort of been up and down as a starter and not a starter throughout his AIHL career, and it's good to see him, for his sake, continually getting a start. So they're not to be underestimated, and you played against them obviously a few weeks ago, Michael. They don't play like a bottom place team, do they?
No, they played fast, and their rink is small as well. So I think being on a small ice sheet for them is to their benefit. They are fast, but they know how to work in the small areas. They got some crafty guys, and they definitely. I think they've lost a lot of 1-goal games, which we've happened to win a lot of 1-goal games, and that's the difference. I think they're better than what their record indicates.
All right, now let's shift gears to something a bit more fun. It was the 2nd annual Australian Ice Hockey League All-Star Game. We had 2 teams, Team Schlamp with obviously Ben Bro, and then Team Armstrong, the man beside me here, Michael, and we had Robert Hazelhurst and Andrew Cox. I'll get there eventually. They were all on one team. So Bro got the bragging rights of the game win, but you and Rob kind of bagged things up with the MVP, best local, and best forward, I believe. So let Thunder fans know about your whole experience of the whole weekend, really, because we haven't really seen it.
It was a great experience. The AHL put on a great event. Going into the weekend, I think every guy's expectation was to just have fun, put on a show for the fans, and it's a chance for all the guys on the teams to meet everyone else on each other's teams. And being the first year in the league, I don't really know that many people within the league, so it was a great opportunity for me to actually make connections and make friends on other teams. Obviously, it's an added bonus coming out of that weekend with the MVP and top forward. Going into the weekend, I was not expecting any of that, so it's fun to have that.
You're going to share the cash around, or are you just going to bank it up?
Well, we made an agreement going in before the game. The whole squad agreed that if we win, it'll go into part of it will go into a team pot and be split amongst the guys that signed or agreed to part of the contract. And, so everyone, it's a win-win for everyone. I think that's how it should be. Guys are going there, spending the weekend, and everyone comes out of it with something. So for that, I think everyone is happy with what happened. And
good for team morale.
Yeah, I think it showed. Our team, even though we lost, I think our team had some fun out there. And
it's the main thing.
Yeah, it was a good weekend.
Well, we'll be able to catch all that fun as well.
Yes.
For those that it wasn't obviously live broadcast anywhere, but there is a 90-minute special on Foxtel, Fox Sports 4 on Thursday afternoon at 2 o'clock. So for those who have Foxtel, 2 o'clock Perth time on Thursday afternoon. So for those who have Foxtel, set your IQs, 2 o'clock Thursday afternoon, channel 505.
Perfect. Also, we've actually just launched Snapchat. Thunder are now on Snapchat. You can follow us at Perth Thunder, very basic. You get behind the scene footage, you'll get some training shots, you'll get game day shots, and the boys will probably even take it on the road. So if you want to see what the boys are up to in everyday Thunder life, you can follow us on Snapchat. So that's Perth Thunder, all one word.
And we promise we'll keep it family friendly on the road.
Very G-rated stuff. So we thank you all again for tuning in for another episode of Thunder Insider. We hope to see you this weekend at Perth Ice Arena.